Good, y'all. Welcome back to Niner Wire. I'm your host, Sam, and today we are doing a 49ers season prediction. We're going to go through some award predictions, record predictions, game predictions, and we're going to do a quick breakdown on the roster. Might as well do it again. I know we did it last Sunday with Rohit and Antonio, but we might as well just do it again. And for the stream today, we got Joel right here. How you doing, Joel?
Hi, I'm doing well.
But it's always good to have you on. So I'm glad you can get back. But hey, football, we're back tomorrow, almost 24 hours from now, it's just crazy after everything that's happened this offseason. We're back, man. I'm hyped for it. So
very exciting.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Before we get into it, make sure to follow me on Twitter at NinerWireSam. My IG is at NinerWire_YT. I do a lot of stuff there, so make sure to check that out. Also, guys, we need you guys to check out the Brawl Network. I feel like we're not getting any faithful love over there. I know Gridiron Brawl, it's all Dolphins fans in the comments, so let's get some faithful in there. Show them what we're about. Also, I did write an article on game predictions, so you might check that out right now, or you might have already checked that out and know what I'm about to say in this video, but still, make sure to check that out. And then there's some Twitter, Instagram links, YouTube links right there for that. So make sure to check those out. And as always, if you have any questions, comments that you want to bring up during this, make sure to leave them in the live chat. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Max, love seeing you on this, I guess.
Let's go, Joel.
So yeah, for sure. All right. So I say we start off by quickly breaking down every position on the roster. And now we did this last week, but it might as well just be a good idea to just go through it again. So let's just get right into it. So quarterback, we really got Jimmy G, CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins. Mullins is the number 2 quarterback. And frankly, I don't know. I talked about this on the last stream. I don't get why we kept Beathard. I don't think we should have. But again, solid quarterback core. We have a backup. We have Jimmy Garoppolo. There's not much I need to say about this. So,
no.
Yeah, for sure. You got anything to say about it or no?
No. I mean, that's kind of I don't.
Yeah,
really
there's not much to talk about for it. So, all right. But anyways, running backs. Now, this is one of the positions where it gets interesting. So we got 4 running backs to start the year off with Tevin Coleman, Raheem Mostert, Jerick McKinnon, Jeff Wilson. So I wish Hasty made it over Wilson. Obviously, he didn't, but Hasty's on the practice squad, which is good. But one thing I am so looking forward to tomorrow is watching Jerick McKinnon play.
Yeah.
I think that is something we've all been waiting for a while. And it's finally, I mean, there's a reason we signed him. And there's a reason why he stayed on this team when everyone thought, oh, maybe we should cut some salary, just trade him. And the Niners managed to keep him. So they have something in store for him. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. You got anything to say about that?
He's definitely near the top of the list of guys I'm most looking forward to see play tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Him. I want to say Jeff Wilson. I mean, all of these guys should be fun to see. I'm
fun to see Trent Taylor back.
Who?
Trent Taylor.
Yeah, well, that's receivers, but
I know, but just I'm talking about positions in general.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Trent Taylor, I'm for sure. That's gonna be a fun.
I mean, the running backs, they're all gonna. Yeah, no. Yes.
But Trent Taylor, man, let's just get right into wide receiver. That's gonna be a fun return to see. I know he came off that Jones fracture injury, which kind of sucks. Debo now has that. By the way, Joel, thank you so much for accepting that trade when I traded you, Debo. If you're not aware of that trade, I traded Joel, Debo Samuel, and Leonard Fournette for Chris Carson and Terry McLaurin. You said you were robbed, but you were convincing me that it was a good deal in the car ride home. So I don't think you have a right to talk. That's completely your fault. I did not finesse. Oh, I technically did finesse you, but hey, you wanted the deal. So
I thought you said Debo was going to play. You said I have.
It was looking like he was going to play at the time.
It was bullshit.
I'm not wrong. I said Carson Prone. Debo's looking to play at the time. I wasn't wrong when I did it. But I mean, you gotta do your research, bro.
Fournette will start in Tampa soon. Ronald Jones sucks, and then I still lost, but it's not. And Debo will be back. It's not the end of the world. But this week,
it's not the end of the world. But you're week 1. I mean, you're starting Chubb and Hunt.
You're going up against.
It's not looking good. For
my Hollywood Brown trade fell through. This week is not looking good.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but you got Lamar, who's going to do really well.
I do have Lamar, and I have Michael Thomas. So
and Michael Thomas, Lamar. That should be fun to watch. All right, back to the 49ers. Anyways, Trent Taylor, looking forward to seeing him. Week 1, I think Ayuk's questionable for week 1. That's going to be a game time decision. If he doesn't play, I'm excited to see Taylor and Kendrick Bourne, see what they can do.
Yep.
Dante Pettis, that's another guy I'm really looking forward to see because we know that from what I've heard, he's looked pretty good in camp after last year's just complete downfall. So I'm excited to see what he's all about. Also, we should be getting, if we get any, we might be getting some practice squad news about if there's any promotions or anything during the stream. So I'll make sure to share that. If someone like Rousseau or Dakota Shepley's promoted, then we know Garland's out. If one of our receivers is promoted, we know that Ayuk's probably out. But anyways, if let's say they play tomorrow, where they're obviously going to play throughout the season, I'm excited to see this core play. I have big hopes for Kendrick Bourne and Dante Pettis. I have big hopes for everyone. So, yeah, you got anything else?
Same thing. I definitely am excited, especially to watch Taylor come back, and I'm excited to see. I have high hopes for Bourne. I also hope that Pettis can have a bounce back.
Yeah, for sure. I think we might be even seeing him in like a punt returner role, which I really think we need a punt returner on this team. I don't like Richie James at punt returner. Kick returner, love him there. Punt returner, no.
I don't like him.
But I'm hoping Pettis can return some punts because, I mean, he did, what was it? Like the leading punt return touchdown record. He has like the most punt returns and touchdowns in college of all time, something like that. So
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I know, man. He's good at it. So, all right, moving on. Tight ends, love this core. I mean, George Kittle, best tight end in football, obviously. Yep, exactly. If you're still watching this, Max, don't debate this at all.
No, there's
George
no
Kittle
debate.
is the best tight end.
Zero debate. It's a fact.
Yeah, zero debate. Then you got Jordan Reed. I am so looking forward to see what he can do because I thought he wasn't going to make the roster. Everyone said he's looked really great. He said this is the best place he's been in his football career, period, which is that's saying something considering he's a former Pro Bowler. So I think I have really high hopes for Jordan Reed. I think he's going to help this offense a lot this season.
Yep.
So
I agree.
Yeah, for sure. And then Ross Dwelley, again, another guy who's a good red zone target, did well against Arizona last year. I don't think he's going to see as much action, but I think he'll do fine. I think he's a good number 3 tight end to have on the roster. And then Charlie Warner, you guys all know how much I love this kid. Love this kid so much. I've said this too many times, so I talked about him too many times, so I'm not even going to say anything else. So you got anything else on that, Jill?
You know how I feel about. I mean, you know how all Niner fans feel about George. I love George, and
yeah, for sure.
I'm excited to see Jordan Reed. I on those like all the Niner IG accounts, I'm just seeing every day how he's having awesome practices. I'm like awesome in camp. I'm like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
I mean, yeah, like you said, since his high praise for this team is pretty saying something, considering that he's how many times has he been a Pro Bowler? Was it just with Washington?
I think he was just maybe once or twice. I have no clue, but somewhere he's definitely been a great player before.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see. And then I like Dwelley, and I don't know much about Warner, but how do you pronounce his name? Warner.
Charlie Warner.
Warner. I mean, but you're super high on him, so
yeah. I mean, I think
it's cool that we could maybe run some like 2 or 3 tight end sets at times, maybe if like we want to get weird. So, but,
yeah, for sure. We
could put multiple quality tight ends out on the field at one time, which is good.
Yeah, for sure. And I know Kittle said, guys, we got to run like a 4 tight end set, which obviously was a joke.
Yeah, that was.
But honestly, I would not be surprised if you saw something like that because you got Kittle. We know what he can do. Reed's one of the best pass catching tight ends in football. Warner's one of the best blocking rookie tight ends. And then you got Ross Dwelley, another good target. So, I mean, you could honestly do that. But, and also adding on to your point about Warner, you said you didn't know much about him. I personally think that, I mean, he wasn't the best tight end in the draft, but he has Kyle Shanahan written all over him.
You say he's a blocker.
And that's what I love about him so much. And that was like the Kinlaw pick, Ayuk pick, love those picks. The Charlie Warner pick, I love so much. Like that's probably one of my favorite draft picks we've done in a while since the Reuben Foster pick. That was probably my favorite draft pick, which is saying a lot. So, you got anything else?
Very excited to see Jordan Reed's debut and Warner.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to everything. So, yeah, tight end should be a fun group to watch. All right, moving on. Offensive line. So, this year's a bit interesting. So, we got left tackle Trent Williams. That's secure. Everyone said he's looked absolutely
Amazing.
Dominant in camp.
Dominant.
Laken Tomlinson too has been pretty. We've heard reports about Kinlaw is really good, and then the reports about Kinlaw is really bad is when he's going up against Tomlinson. So maybe both are good. Maybe Kinlaw sucks. I hope that's not the case, but I think Laken Tomlinson is looking at a really good season so far. Center position, that's where the question is. You're going to start with Ben Garland. God, I really hope that if Ben Garland's out week 1, that's going to be a game changer because the center on the practice squad right now is Shepley and Grisseau. I did not expect Shepley to make the practice squad. And where are you going?
My dog got in the room. I'm just getting her out. Mona, go.
Oh, all right. Which one? Dingo? Or Mona?
We're good. No. Sorry.
Whatever. Yeah, but all right. Anyways, continuing. I was saying that if Ben Garland's out, we're going to have to pull up Grisseau from the practice squad. And I have heard terrible things about him. So I think that Cardinals, whoever the hell the Cardinals defensive tackles are, and I don't even know, they might eat our interior line alive if
They may have monster games.
Yeah, they may. Well, if Ben Garland's out, that's not going to be good at all. So, and then Brunskill, I'm really looking forward to see him start at right guard. I thought he should have started at right guard more last season when Person went down. But yeah, I like him there. And then you got Mike McGlinchey, named the captain this year. Shout out Mike McGlinchey. That shows that he's doing really well. So yeah, and then you got School, McKivitz, Tom Compton. I bet he gets cut mid-season at some time. I don't think he's that good. I haven't heard that great things about him, but I think he's going to get cut mid-season, maybe when Richburg comes back. So we'll see what happens there. But you got anything else to add on to what I said?
I feel like I just want to see, because everything I've heard is that even our best pass rushers can't do shit against Trent Williams. I just want to see how he does against who's the animal for the Cardinals who led the league in sacks last year?
Chandler Jones.
Will they
I
match
did not
up?
know that.
Because I forgot his name. Will they match up?
Yeah, it'll be Trent and Chandler Jones. And I know Trent Williams has been talking about how hard Chandler Jones is to face because he has so many moves. But I mean, you look at that. I think sorry, I just ate some yogurt, so there's still some in my throat. You know that feeling, obviously.
Yeah, that's
but
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a bad feeling. That's why I might be coughing up a little bit. But anyways, you got that 2018 game, Trent Williams dominated Chandler Jones, and he only had one quarterback pressure the entire game. So that's saying something. Fun. And now, look what Jaime just said. Trent owns Chandler Jones. We move. Exactly like that. That's exactly what we need to say. Moving on. So you got anything else about offensive line?
Nothing else but offensive line.
Alrighty, let's move on to the defensive line. And guys, once again, we talked about this in our stream with Rohit and Antonio last Sunday. Make sure to check that out if you want a deeper breakdown. This is just a brief breakdown before we get into the predictions. Just a quick recap of last video. So, yeah. All right, defensive line. This is the heart and soul of the team. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you got to be excited for this with Bosa, Ford, Armstead, Kinlaw coming in. You got DJ Jones, Kerry Hyder, Kevin Givens, who's looked phenomenal in camp. Same with Contavious Street. And then who's the other guy? It's 49ers roster. It's not, I said DJ Jones, I thought. Did I miss Bosa? I'm pulling up the roster right now. I said Bosa. I just want to make sure I'm getting all my guys, not leaving anyone out. That's how we do it here. Armstead, Bosa, Ford, Givens, Hyder, Jones, Contavious Street, Solomon Thomas. I always forget Solomon Thomas. That's how relevant he is. So, but anyways, I don't want to talk too much shit about our D-line and our guys because I frankly love this defensive line. You obviously got that front four of Kinlaw, Armstead, Bosa, Ford, phenomenal phenomenal starting lineup right there. And then you got DJ Jones, who balled out last season before his injury.
Yeah.
And then next three guys, Hyder, Givens, Street,
solid.
all have looked absolutely phenomenal during training camp. And that tells me something, especially Contavious Street. I mean, we were waiting for him to come back from those injuries, deal with the injuries. Now he's looking insane in camp from what I've heard. Givens has looked consistent. Hyder apparently was a lock to make the roster this whole time. Great speed rusher to have reunited with Chris Kusarek. So I am loving this defensive line. I want to say it's hard to say. Do I love it more than last year's defensive line? Because I mean, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
I think we got to see how Kinlaw does.
Yeah,
I mean, the loss of Buckner hurts a lot. So yeah, but you got anything to add on that?
No, you got. I mean, no, that's not true. I'm excited to see what Kinlaw does in his first couple games.
Yeah, for sure. Should be I mean, we're going against pretty weak offensive lines, so I think Kinlaw is going to have a pretty good game if you ask me. I know you got Arizona. They just got rid of their best interior lineman. New York's offensive line sucks. Yeah. Why am I holding my comb? I don't know. Giants offensive line, meh. And then the Eagles offensive line, they don't have Brandon Brooks anymore, so that might be a bit of a problem. Dolphins, I mean, I've heard fantastic things about Solomon Kinley, but he's a rookie. So I don't know how he's going to do it, but Kinlaw's a rookie too, so I don't know. And then you got, I mean, yeah, I just keep going on and on. Rams, not that good of an offensive line. Patriots is probably where it gets a bit harder. But now that I look at it, you're not playing that many great interior offensive lines this year.
Nope.
Like besides, I don't even know. Maybe, yeah, you're not really playing any good offense besides Dallas, and that's week 15. Week 15, Dallas. You got some good guards that you're playing, but just interior line as a whole, it might not be good. And plus, they might be going against Armstead or DJ Jones rather than Kinlaw. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how teams handle Kinlaw and everything this year. So that's a great point. And I'm really hoping that Solomon Thomas can figure it out because he's got to do that quickly. Because I think this is his the last year with the Niners. If he's not going to figure it out, then we just wasted the number three overall pick on someone who didn't do shit for us. So, and we could have had guys like Jamal Adams, Marshawn Lattimore, CMC, Watson, Mahomes. So it's bad. At least we got Fred Warner from trading back, but yeah, that's all good. But yeah, you got anything else on defensive line?
No, I'm like you said, it's a bit of a tough sell to say you're more excited this year than last year, but also, I mean,
yeah,
but it's still going to be probably one of the best team line in football.
Oh yeah, for sure, easily, without a doubt.
So,
all right, moving on. Linebacker core. We got 6 linebackers this year. We got Warner just activated off the COVID list, so he will play week 1. Quan Alexander, Dre Greenlaw, those are our starting linebackers. Obviously, a really solid core. Greenlaw, I'm really looking forward to see how he can improve this year. Maybe he becomes the guy that Fred Warner was last year, but I think this core is a great core to have, that starting core. And then backups, you got Mark Nazacha, great on special teams. Then you got Azeez Al-Shaair, pretty decent backup. And then Flanagan Fowles, biggest surprise to make the roster, in my opinion. But it seems like he had a phenomenal camp. He's been working his ass off. And I think he's gonna. I have big, and then everyone on the linebacker core saying he's looking really good. So I have high hopes for him this year. Hopefully he'll be a solid backup. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about linebackers. You got anything?
Hopefully Quan can stay healthy. I mean, he was
he probably will.
He was injured last year, and hopefully Greenlaw progressed. I mean, Warner's. I mean, I have high expectations for Warner, and could be an all-pro if I'm being honest right now. Because I mean, last year he improved so much. This year he's a captain, leader of that defense. In my opinion, everyone said he's the leader of that defense. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. So yeah. All right, moving on. Cornerback. So we got, I believe, 5 cornerbacks. We got Sherman. We got Witherspoon, Mosley, K'Waun Williams, and Jason Verrett, who is currently out for week 1. But it's really the same core as last year. We didn't really do anything to improve it, which is a classic Lynch move. I know last year I remember when I was doing the same thing, just a quick overview of the roster.
I went in on John Lynch for not improving the secondary at all, and he didn't really do it again. And it kind of concerns me. Not really, but it also shows me that they have a lot of faith in Emmanuel Mosley and Ahkello Witherspoon. So I think they really have to step it up this year and show why they're worthy of that. Why they're worthy of that position. Plus, I've also heard Tim Harris on the practice squad has looked phenomenal in camp. So maybe he'll get an early call up. But yeah, I got hopefully Sherman. I think Sherman's going to keep it up. He says he has 3 more years left in him. I can definitely see that. So, yeah, I think Sherman's obviously going to be a lockdown corner like he is every year. Then you got Mosley, Witherspoon. I think those are 2 solid options for the number 2 cornerback. We'll probably see Mosley start, and then K'Waun Williams, arguably the best nickelback in football. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about cornerback. I think it's a solid core. Could have improved a little bit more, but it's all right.
Yeah. And that's what I have to say. I mean, I like them a little less than our linebacker and obvious core and our D line, but I mean, I'm not.
Oh yeah, for sure, easily. So
I'm not.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and then adding on to the secondary, the cornerback, how we didn't improve that. We didn't really improve safety at all, and frankly, I'm not too concerned about it because Ward balled out last season, Tart balled out last season. Tarvarius Moore, they've always had high hopes for him. I know they wanted him to start last year, but Jimmy Ward took over. And then Marcel Harris improved as the year went along. So, yeah. And then plus on the practice squad, you got Jonathan Cyprian, who balled out in camp. So, and Jared Maiden, too. So, I think those guys could see call-ups if one of those guys goes down. I know you have some injury. There's some injury proneness right there. So, I think I would not be surprised to see those guys play. But overall, I like the safety core. I don't think we needed to improve it too much. I know I made that video about Jamal Adams that blew up. I think I would have liked that, but it's all good. I'm happy. I'm totally happy with Tart on this team still. So, yeah. You got anything else?
Mm-mm.
Perfect. All right. So, and then special teams, Gold, Wisnowski, Nelson. I don't need to say anything about that. We can move on. All right. So, let's get to the heart of this video. So, what we're going to be doing
is predicting record.
Yeah. So, we're going to be predicting each game, saying if we win or lose. We're not going to go through a score prediction because that might take a while.
Well, it'll take too long.
Yeah, it might take a while. So we're just gonna go. I'm just gonna highlight every box green or red, win or lose. If for some reason you predict a tie, I'll just highlight it yellow. But
that's bold to predict a tie.
It's a very, very bold prediction to highlight a tie. So to predict a tie. So, and then we're also gonna do awards. So we're gonna give an offense player of the year, defense player of the year, rookie of the year, MVP, and most improved player. Those. Do you want to add anything to that? Any awards?
No, that should be it.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, perfect. So we got 5 awards, 16 games. Let's just go right through it. Starting off with week 1 against Arizona. Tomorrow's game. Looking forward to that. Obviously, should be an action-packed game. But I think it's that there's definitely a lot to watch in this game. And we'll go. By the way, guys, we'll go over everything that we talked about for these games in the pregame streams when the time comes. This is obviously just a prediction.
Yeah.
So make sure to stay tuned for the Arizona pregame. That's going to be tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. We got Antonio coming back for that. We got another Cardinals fan, TJ, on Twitter. He's going to join along, and I'm hoping to get another Cardinals fan. So Cardinals fans, if you're watching, DM me on Twitter. Hop on. You guys are more than welcome to come. Also, if you're a fan of any of these teams watching, just DM me. Shoot me a message. You guys are more than welcome to come on. I'd love to have you guys on for these pregame streams or any other video, any NFL-related video. So make sure to stay tuned for that. So, but anyways, Arizona week 1, what you got, Joel?
I'm not too concerned. On paper, we should win, but it's week 1, and it's like last year there was a little sloppiness in week 1. We gave up a few too many points to Tampa Bay, but I'm predicting a win.
Yeah, I'm with you predicting that win, but frankly, I think this game's I think we're going to win this game because and I think it's going to be fairly easy because I feel like this Cardinals team, it's a bit more inexperienced.
Yep.
They're still coming together at this point. We have a proven team. We've really kept everyone in that starting lineup. So I frankly think we're going to win this game, and I think we're going to win it fairly handily. Usually the Cardinals have our number, but this year we got George Kittle, who everyone in that Arizona system is like scared of. Like they drafted Isaiah Simmons literally for the only reason to stop George Kittle. And that just shows you that no one can stop him. So, yeah. But you got anything else to say about that game?
No, I mean, no, I don't.
All right. Give me 1 second. Joel, check the private chat real quick. I have something to tell you.
Okay.
This is just a personal thing that just came up. I just want to, it's about something, but.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Nothing to be a bit too
All
concerned.
Right. So, the next week would be Jets.
Jets at New York. So what you got for this one?
I mean, their defense is gonna. I mean, any hope of them having a solid defense is pretty much gone, considering they just gave away Jamal Adams. I think. I mean, they're going to be one of the worst teams. I mean, I think this should be kind of a blowout,
for sure.
because I think, especially after week 1, we got another week of like everything, like practicing. We're going to be playing weaker comp, and it's going to be a little less sloppy because it's not week 1. I think we should win this one pretty easily.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just fixing the line so it's a bit easier for everyone to see if I can. Do you know how to do this? Fix the line?
What?
Like make the line a bit bolder, like the box.
No, I don't.
Okay. Let me see. You know what? It's all good. We'll just put the green right here for your win. I also got a win. I think this should be one of our easiest wins of the season, frankly. We overpower that offense. We overpower that defense. Their defense without Mosley was significantly worse last year. Mosley opted out. And they lost Jamal Adams. So I don't see this team doing well at all, really.
No.
Plus, you might see Denzel Mims out week 1. Their O-line did improve a little bit, but not by much. And we don't know how Darnold's going to do. I'm not sold on him just yet. So I think you got to wait a little bit before you consider the Jets a good team. So I got us winning easily for that one. And for week 3, we stay in New York. I got another win there. Giants, again, a team that I think is going to do terrible this year. So 3-0 start. That ain't that bad, obviously.
I'm with you. I do not have much faith in the Giants. I mean, where's their defense supposed to be ranked? It's going to be awful.
It's
right?
fairly. Their front seven's really bad. So
yeah, they'll be terrible. So I mean, not as easy as the Jets, but not probably too bad of a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. But I will say that their offense definitely improved a little bit. They did bolster their offensive line with Andrew Thomas, who I really liked. Will Hernandez, another good offensive lineman on that squad. And then on defense, I mean, their secondary, their cornerbacks improved. But the loss of McKinney is going to hurt them, who's out for the season. Or he's out for a while now with a broken foot, I believe. So that's going to hurt them a lot. But they did add Logan Ryan and James Bradbury, which I like a lot. But I don't think that's going to really put them over the top at all. So I got another win for us. 3-0 start for both of us. Moving on to week 4, the first primetime game of the season.
Eagles
versus Philadelphia. This should be a fun game to watch. What you got, Joel?
Well, the Eagles last year were really good against the run, which is a little concerning. But they were, below average in defending the pass. So this is the first game where I'm a little concerned. I will go with a win. I think this is going to be a pretty good game. I think this should be a big game for Jimmy to showcase that he can. I mean, not to showcase anything. I think Jimmy's going to have a good game, but I'm not worried, and not too worried, and I think we should win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think there's going to be another win. And frankly, I just think we're going to overpower that offense. I think their offense they're still figuring themselves out. I feel like I know they don't have that many receiving weapons. We know like Rager's not going to step it up right away.
No.
Frankly, I didn't really like Rager going into the draft too much. But he is a talented guy, so you can't ignore that. And then you got some they drafted some other guys later on, like Quez Watkins, I liked a lot out of Southern Miss. But then you got like a pretty depleted offensive line with no Dillard or Brandon Brooks, so that's going to hurt them a lot. Wentz, he's injury prone. Will he play that game? We don't know, probably, but still got to be aware of that. And then on defense, I know their run defense is good, but their front seven's okay. Everyone says Fletcher Cox second best defensive tackle in football. Guys, Fletcher Cox. Give me 1 second.
No,
Fletcher Cox is nowhere near a top 5 defensive tackle in football. After last season, nowhere near that. And you guys, I will go out on a limb to do that. He is nowhere near a top 5 defensive tackle in football. Eagles fans, you guys can come at me, bash me. I don't care. In my opinion, Fletcher Cox, nowhere near top 5 defensive tackle in football. One of the most overrated players in the NFL. And I think a lot of people give the Eagles defense a ton of credit because of him. But I mean, I'm not, by the way, I'm not saying he's a bad player because he's obviously a good player. But when you're saying he's a top 5 defensive tackle, get the fuck out of here with that shit. But yeah, that's all I had to say about Fletcher Cox. Okay, Joel, were you saying something?
I was just saying he's going on a rant.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, as you guys just said, I don't really, their front seven's okay. I like Brandon Graham a little bit. Sean Bradley, another pick out of Temple, late 6th round pick. I really liked him going into the draft. I don't know if he's going to step up in a big way to start off, but yeah, that could be something to watch. Their secondary improved with Darius Slay. So I think it's going to be a good game, but in the end, I think we are going to win this game, and I think it's mainly because of our defense against their offense. So yeah, you got anything to add on to that?
I think it should be the best game of the first 4 by far.
Oh, easily, without a doubt. I mean, it's prime time for a reason. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Week 5 versus Miami. I got a win here. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Miami, they're a good team, but I mean, well, they're an okay team, I guess you can say. But yeah, I don't see how they're going to win this. They have so many holes still. They're still in a rebuild. And we're competing for a championship right now. So I think it's safe to say that we're going to win this game. Although I will say there have been some guys at their camp like Raekwon Davis and Solomon Kinley that have been looking insane so far. So if they keep that up throughout the season, that may be something to watch. Also, their wide receivers, got to keep an eye out for them. Those are probably their strongest, and their secondary. I think those are probably their 2 strongest positions. But also, we got to talk about this could be the debut of Tua Tagovailoa that game. So that would be really fun to watch for a lot of people. But I think our team's going to beat him. Whether it's Fitzpatrick or Tua, I think we'll win the game. So, yeah. What you got?
I think it's going to be more. It's going to be a little more exciting to see if it's Tua's debut. I also think that Tua would struggle a lot because, I mean, our defense is kind of self-explanatory. It's one of the best in the league. I think that it would be fun. It would be fun for whoever had the Niners defense in fantasy going against.
Yeah, for sure. Well, that's you, right? You have the
yes,
right
yes.
But week 2 should be really fun for you. I'm just gonna say that right now. Week 2 is gonna be
and against
2, 3, 5. Those are gonna be fun weeks for you. Yeah, I have the Colts. I think they're gonna do. Week 1 should be a fun week against Jacksonville. So I will take that. We got to rep my man Defoe. Shout out to him. But yeah, back to Niners. I mean, 5-0 start. You can't go wrong there.
Yep.
Keeping it rolling. So yeah. All right, week 6 versus the Rams. What you got? And this is another primetime game, by the way. Another Sunday night game.
Our game against the Rams last year was really close.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't followed the Rams actually that much. Oh shoot. Sorry. I don't know what happened. Okay. I haven't really followed them that much, but you know what? I'm going to say that after this long, because the Rams are not a bad team. They're not a bad team.
They're not bad, no.
No, they're not a bad team. I mean, obviously, they're in our conference and our division, and our division is stacked.
Yeah, sure.
I would say, you know what? I'm going to make this interesting. I'm going with a tie. I'm making it a thing. I'm saying a tie.
We got a tie. All right.
Hot take time. It's a tie.
Hot take time. Okay then. So got a tie. I'm gonna go orange instead because I highlighted these 2 things right there. But we got a tie. I'm not gonna predict any ties. I'm gonna go with a win. And frankly, I think it's just because it's our defense is gonna do a lot this year against these teams that don't have solid offensive lines. And when it comes to the division, that it's definitely gonna take notice because Rams don't have a good offensive line. Seahawks offensive line got worse, and that was the reason why they lost the division last year to us. And Cardinals offensive line also got worse, in my opinion, although I do like the addition of Josh Jones. but offensive lines are going to struggle against our D. And I don't understand why teams are not improving their offensive line when you got the best defensive line in the league, in your division. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Plus, the loss of Corey Littleton, I think, is going to hurt them a lot when it comes to stopping George Kittle and some players like that, because Littleton has done a lot against us. I'll just put it that way. I remember the Week 17 game 2 years ago in 2018. He absolutely owned us. So, I mean, frankly, I think that's a huge loss for them. They did extend Cooper Kupp today, which I think that's a good move for them. I like their receiving core a lot, but I think we're going to win this game and start off 6-0. Joel, you're going to go 5-0-1. So I want to hear more about is it just like too close to call in your opinion?
It's too close to call. I like their offense a lot. I like Kupp, and I really like Tyler Higbee. I do. It's weird. I really do like it. I'm mixed on Goff. I mean, I think Goff's pretty good, and
he's okay. I mean,
he's okay. I kind of was like, this is going to be a close game. I kind of wanted to stir the pot, and because I think this was one of the games where it's we play the Rams again. We play the Rams again later in the season, but I think this is if you were going to call a game a tie, and I thought it would be kind of fun to do that, I would say this would probably be up there with the best games to say.
Yeah, for sure. And these division games are going to be so important this year in such a stacked division where you're definitely going to see two teams come out, maybe three, and the number one seed might be in this division with ease. Like, you got Seattle and San Francisco, two teams that could definitely compete for that number one seed. So every division game is going to matter so much. But 2-0 to start in the division, that's always a great start. So, yeah. All right. Week 7 at the Patriots. I was hoping to go to this game in New England with my dad. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen due to COVID. But, so I can't go to the game, but I can sit back, watch at home, and watch another 49ers win. Frankly, I don't like the Patriots this year at all, really. I know. I mean, I don't want to doubt Bill Belichick, but I don't see how this is going to happen with them winning. I don't think Cam Newton's going to do well there. I really think he's gone 0-8 in his last 8 games. 0-8. And he could have been active last year, but then instead they put him on IR. So that tells me something, and I don't think he's going to do well. So, yeah, and then their receiving core is not that good. They lost a ton of guys on that defense. Their entire linebacker core is gone. That's a huge concern, especially when stopping a guy like George Kittle. That's going to be a major problem for them. But so I like this matchup a lot for us, and I'm going to go with a win. So
I agree. I mean, they lost so much on D, and
Patrick Chung too. That's another
Patrick Chung and Hightower, and just so many guys. I mean, they lost some guys in free agency, and a bunch of guys opted out, right?
Yeah, well, they lost Van Noy, Collins in free agency, and then Hightower. There were so many guys that opted out for the COVID. I think there was like 8 guys, which is ridiculous.
I mean, like you said, Belichick's awesome, but I'm not very high on Cam.
For sure.
It's kind of I feel like a little bit of the like New England, kind of like lore surrounding it it's not gone because they still have a great coach, but I'm not shitting my pants because go into Foxborough. It's not Foxborough, sure. into July.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, I gotta tell you right now, football season's coming soon. The Cardinals have just leaving for the Bay soon, so
oh boy,
they just announced that for some reason, but it just shows you how close we are. Almost 24 hours away from game time. So, yeah. All right. Possibly the biggest game of the year at Seattle, Week 8. What you got for this?
Oh, this pains me. I'm going with a loss. This pains me.
Yeah, I am too. But you say what you want to say first.
Russell Wilson is, in my opinion, the second best quarterback in football. Obviously Mahomes is number 1, but he's number 2. His ability, if, for example, let's just say in this game, it's a tie game, 3 minutes left, it's over. I just think it's over. If you give him a chance to win the game, I think it's pretty, he'll get them into field goal range, or he'll just drive down and punch it down our throat.
Hey, but what happened last year during Week 17 when
my heart nearly stopped. That's what happened.
That could be one of the biggest choke jobs in NFL history. Like you take a delay of game. I mean that was such a super
they
game,
added Jamal Adams, and I mean,
we know how good he is.
We know how good he is. I am very scared of the Seahawks, and I think that I don't want to spoil anything, but I just think of this of our 2-game matchup with them. I think this will be a loss.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I think it's going to be a loss. Going into Seattle, always such a hard game to play in.
Hard.
It's so difficult. Like it always has you on your feet all the time. So I think this is going to be a loss. First loss of the season. Not bad. It's going to be a close game though. You got to say. And the fact that the offensive line and defensive line got worse, they didn't make any attempt to improve that at all. I think that's going to come back and haunt them. We'll talk about that later. Mm-hmm. But for now, I have them winning this game, and you can't deny their success and their how good they are. But
awesome.
For now, I'm gonna go with a loss for this game. So 7-1 to start the season for me. 6-0-1 for you for the first 8 games. I think let's talk about that right now. I think that's obviously a phenomenal start to the season when you can start off 7-1 or 6-1-1 for you. So I think that's a phenomenal start, and that definitely puts us in the right direction to hopefully getting back to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So yeah, for sure. All right. Week 9, NFC Championship rematch versus Green Bay on Thursday Night Football. Coming off a loss against Seattle. This is going to be a difficult game because we're going to have the Seattle loss on the back of our minds, wanting to win this game, plus a short week after a trip to New England and Seattle, which is always so hard going up against Green Bay. But as always, the 49ers own the Packers, so I have to say win here. Frankly, I don't think the Packers are going to do well. I think 9-7 could be their best record. I think I'm looking at a 9-7 record for them this year.
Would they go 13-3?
Yeah, that was a complete
certainly
fluke,
not
though.
happening.
That was a complete fluke. I think every Packers fan can agree with me that was a complete fluke. And frankly, they got worse, in my opinion. They didn't really improve where they needed to at all.
They did not have a good draft.
Had an interesting draft, to say the least. Didn't address wide receiver and right tackle, the 2 positions they needed to address the most. I don't see how they're going to do that well this year. And I know Jake and I talked about it in our predictions video. I have the Packers finishing 3rd in their division, missing the playoffs completely. So, yeah. All right, what you got for this game, Joel?
I respect Aaron Rodgers a lot. But we destroyed them in the 2 games we played against them last year, and they've gotten worse since then. Yeah. I think I think this will, and especially coming off of a loss, which we both predict. Even though there's going to be a bit of the fatigue from travel, I think this will be a win. I think it'll be a good game, but I think this will be a win.
Yeah, plus we'll be back. We'll be in San Francisco the Monday after the New England game. Oh, sorry, that's not the right one. We'll be in San Francisco the Monday after the New England games, and then we'll have a week in San Francisco before we head up to Seattle. So that should be like a day trip or something like that.
Oh boy.
Next game. So it won't be that bad, but still, it's always hard to play 2 games on the road. But yeah. All right, another big game, Week 10 at New Orleans. This is a rematch of that insane game last year where George Kittle turned into the Incredible Hulk. So this is going to be a fantastic game to watch. Could determine the 1 seed and the 2 seed right here. So this is definitely going to be one of the biggest games of the year in the NFL as a whole. So what you got, Joel?
Oh, this is tough. New Orleans is up there with Seattle's teams that are very cheery. You know what? I mean, last year I think was one of the craziest games. You can't expect to have a game like that. I don't think it'll be quite as much offensive pyrotechnics. I still think we're gonna win. I think we're gonna win.
All right, you got a win. I got a loss here. I think personally, I do think they improved a lot this offseason. With the addition of Sanders is going to help them a lot, former Niner. And I think that's also going to make a major impact in this game specifically because he knows our offense pretty well. So I think Sanders is going to help them out a lot. And then you also got additions like Cesar Ruiz, Zach Bond, who I really like going into the draft. I think they really kept their core together and are looking really good this year. Plus, you extended Kamara. I don't think that obviously doesn't really have to do with the game, but still – I think I like this team a lot, and I think they're going to definitely be a competitor for that number 1 seed. Again, they are in a division with Tampa though, so it might that's why I don't think. Well, we'll talk about it later. But anyways, I have a loss here, week 10. So now my record's at 8-2. You're 8-1-1. So and that leads us to the bye week 11, which I think a late bye I like a lot better than last year's week 4 bye. So yeah,
Definitely
all right.
Gives you time to rest. Gives you time to like rest and rehab. I like it.
It gives you time to rest. You got 6 more games. You can look forward to those and finish the season strong. Make a playoff push if you're competing for a playoff spot. So yeah. All right. Week 12 at the Rams. What you got?
I'm going with a win.
I'm going to go with a win this time. Okay, that's really interesting because you say.
I think my logic, fueled off of this previous tie, they're going to want to stick it to the Rams. That's
true. Plus, they're coming off a bye too.
I think. Yep, that's it. I mean, I think they're going to be definitely more rested and rejuvenated. And I mean, you're going against a pretty solid team, not like a powerhouse team. So I predict a win
for sure. No. Who are you playing in fantasy this week?
Fucking Nate.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Tyreek?
No, Miles Sanders got rolled out. I know he's on Jake's team.
He's on Jake's team. Oh, Jake was also really high on him.
But just for week 1. And then the Bills placed Josh Norman on IR, but I don't think that's going to impact their team too much. That's the only news that just – no, Josh Norman.
Oh, okay. Oh, God.
If Josh Allen got placed on IR, that would be big news.
Yeah. That would be huge.
Yeah, but speaking of the Bills – do you have anything to say about anything else about the Rams?
Nothing else about the Rams.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just as similar as the first game. We're coming off the bye, going to SoFi. I think we're going to win this game. 2-0 against the Rams, not that bad, obviously. But anyway, speaking of the Bills, let's move on to Week 13. I got a close win here, and I think it comes down to whose offense is better because both have elite defenses. Yep. And I'd say the Niners definitely have a better offensive scheme, in my opinion. And I think they're going to do really well against this Bills D. So I got a win here. Plus, it's at home. So and Buffalo's usually they don't have that. This is their first or second. This is their second primetime game of the year. So while they're not used to be under the lights, we are. We're gonna have this is gonna be our 4th primetime game of the year. We're gonna be used to that spotlight, and I don't think Buffalo is gonna be ready for it. So I got a win here.
This is one of the harder ones.
For sure. This is definitely one of the harder
ones. I am actually going with a loss.
You're going to go with a loss. Okay.
I'm going with
they
a loss.
Would be happy about that.
I think the Bills have an awesome defense. I really like Josh Allen. I really like Devin Singletary. I think the adding of Stephon Diggs, I think they gave up a lot to get him, but I mean, Diggs is a great player.
For sure.
I like the Bills, and I don't know if I have a set record prediction for them, but I mean, I think they'll definitely go back to the playoffs. I think they're gonna have a good year, and I think that this is going to be. I think this will be a loss.
Yeah, I got the Bills as a 3 seed right now, winning the AFC East, who we play this year. The addition of Diggs is going to be huge for them. I think. Yeah. I think that was even though they gave up a lot for him. I think it was totally worth it. They got a pretty decent offensive line still, and then you obviously got that secondary. That entire defense, I think you could see guys like Tremaine Edmonds and Ed Oliver to step it up this year. So I like this team, but I think I like our team better. So I'm going to go with a win here against Buffalo. You're going with a loss. So now I have the better record for the Niners from what we're predicting. So, yeah. All right. Week 14 versus Washington. I don't need to say much. This is a win.
The football team.
Yeah, easy win here. I will say, though, their defensive line is a top 5 defensive line in football.
I heard you.
So that is something to be scared of, but I think our offensive line can handle them.
Their offense, that's the best week to have the Niners defense for fantasy.
Yeah, their offense is really not good at all. I said I had them third in the NFC East, but ahead of the Giants. But
yeah, what was that? You had them ahead of the Giants.
Yeah, man. I honestly like this defensive line. I know everything else is like kind of sucks, but I'm gonna go with a bit of a bold prediction. I have them ahead of the Giants as third, but it really could go either way, third and fourth. But I'm gonna go with the football team third, Giants fourth, but I do have them losing here. This should be a
This should be
pretty
an
easy game for
this should
us.
be an easy game.
Our defense should be able to easily handle our offense. So
Ooh,
yeah.
Next game in Dallas.
Yep. Next game, week 15 at the Cowboys, another primetime game.
Ooh.
Dallas has a very talented team this year. I know we always say
We always say
the
that, and then I always go 9-7.
they always go 9-7, but this year I don't think it's going to happen. You brought in Mike McCarthy, a competent head coach, brought in even more talent with CeeDee Lamb. Their secondary did get worse, though. That is going to be the big thing. And I think that's going to be the X factor in this game, and I got to win here. But it's going to be a close game. Their offense is like it's a high octane offense. It should be a very high scoring game.
It should be a very high scoring game.
But I think it's hard to say. But I think the fact that they don't have their defense is not as good as ours. They did bolster the defensive line with Everson Griffin, Alden Smith, but I think we're going to win this game. They did. They also got Gallimore out of Oklahoma. They got Trayvon Diggs out of Alabama as their cornerback, but they did lose Byron Jones, and that's going to hurt them a little bit. So I got to win here, and this is going to be a bloodbath of a game. And this also another game that could determine the number one seed, considering how weak the NFC East is. Dallas could easily be the number one seed this year.
I think this is going to be, if not one of the top three, definitely one of the top 4 games of the year for us.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, up with Buffalo. I feel like the first Seattle game and then the game against the Saints.
The second Seattle game is going to be even more important because that might determine the division.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my God. Oh, then it's
we have 2 games against Seattle.
Yeah,
bro.
both Seattle games would be. It would be. Oh, but is this one above Buffalo? I don't know.
This one's definitely above Buffalo because they're in the conference.
Yeah, this would probably be number 4. This would be below both Seattle games and in New Orleans.
Yeah, I probably go week 17. It's hard to tell because we don't know how week 17 the situation is going to be right now.
We don't know.
But if we're looking at it right now, you gotta go week 17 Seattle, week 8 Seattle, New Orleans, Dallas, Buffalo. Those are probably the 5 biggest games for us.
Yeah, and then
no, it's hard to tell because you got division games too, which are also so important to us.
Yeah,
like you have to win those division
especially
games.
If we're banged up at the end of the season against the Cardinals. That's a big game.
Yeah, I know for sure, but it's hard to rank these games, man.
It is.
But yeah,
all right. I think the top 3 though is easy. It's both Seattle games and New Orleans.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. But what you got for this Week 15 Dallas matchup?
The Week 15 Dallas matchup. I also have a win. I think I agree with you. This, if anything, I mean, I don't think it's hard to have an expectation or have like another New Orleans game. But if there's going to be that high octane, just total shootout, I think this will be it. I think it's going to be a lot of points. I'm not a huge fan of Dak, but he is great. And the Cowboys offense, they got a lot of weapons. Their defense is, like you said, it did regress. And I think that we should be able to put up a lot of points too. But in the end, I think our defense is going to offset their defense enough to win.
Yeah, for sure. I'm totally with you. You said it perfectly right there. So let's move on. Week 16 at Arizona, the second Arizona game. First time playing them since week 1. What you got, Joel?
This is going to be a close game. I think this will be similar to our matchup with them last year. I think that this is going to be a little better than I think this will be a closer, more competitive game than the week 1 matchup because we're going to be probably a little banged up. I mean, as much as it sucks, you got to expect some injuries. I think that Kyler is going to progress a little bit, and I think their offense will be more cohesive. I still think we're going to get a win. I think they have no one that can stop George.
I got a loss here. I think
okay.
I do, yeah. And I think this team is going to be the week 1 game is going to be a team that's trying to come together. By week 16, they're going to be together. They're going to be they're definitely a wild card contender, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, they're a solid team.
Who?
They're a solid team.
Yeah, for sure. And you got Hopkins, you got all those guys that they added this offseason, whether it's Simmons or other guys. But this team always seems to have our number, man. So I think if there's any game that people aren't saying that people like on paper we're gonna win,
is this one
like easily, but we're gonna lose, it's definitely this game because they're gonna be more experienced, they're gonna be better, and they always have our number. Like they always have been able to figure us out for a while now. And I think that trend's going to keep up. But week 1 might not be as close. Week 16 is definitely going to be a close game, a hard-fought game. But I got a loss here. And that's going to be a huge loss for us because you got going into week 17, for sure there's going to be another 12-3 or 11-4 team that's going to be looking to take that one spot. But I got a loss here, which that's really going to derail that's going to be a huge loss for us, because then week 17 means so much yet again, which we don't necessarily want too much to happen. So, yeah, you got anything else to say about this game?
Nothing else to say about this game.
Yeah, for sure. And I think looking at your record, I'd much rather have, obviously, because less losses, but I think you have us winning this game, and I think that's obviously I hope for us to go 16-0, but this game in particular, I really want to win. So week 17, we either have no stakes or the stakes that or we gain stakes if we're like on the border of like gaining that playoff spot. So yeah. All right, this leads us to the big matchup, week 17.
The big daddy.
The big daddy of them all, the most important game of the year, easily.
Another week 17 against Seattle. Oh boy. It is at home, which I think is
at home. That's a huge advantage for us. Except last year they won in at Levi's and we won at CenturyLink. So
I think it's going to be the inverse. I think we're going to lose there, and I think we're going to win here.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think we're going to come out with a win, with a vengeance from that last game.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath, not a necessarily super high scoring game. I think that we're going to win.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we're going to win. It's going to be another bloodbath of a game. But I think, again, as I was saying before, their offensive line, their defensive line did not improve at all, got worse. And I think that's going to be the X factor yet again. They'll be able to figure out Seattle by week 17 easily with that weak offensive line and defensive line. So, yeah, I think we're going to pull it out with a win here and take over the NFC West yet again over Seattle. So final records for us, you got 13-2-1. I got 13-3. So pretty similar records, just a few games that are different.
Controversial tie.
The controversial tie for sure. And then I got New Orleans loss, Arizona loss. You have a Buffalo loss instead. But overall, I would not be surprised to see either of this. I would be surprised to see a tie because that almost never happens. But yeah,
I hope it's a win. But I sense a tie.
Yeah, for sure. All right, but 13-2-1, dude. Imagine if they actually tied that game.
If they tie that game, so I should win some money if I call that.
Yeah, for sure. Hold up. Oh, Joel, you need a running back for fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Pick up Boston Scott right now.
Boston Scott. Okay.
Yeah, because he's the Eagles running back and Sanders is out.
Oh shit. All right, let me.
You got to do that quickly, dude. Because I did that with Chris Thompson, and that he's projected a fair amount of points. I'm not starting him though. But
I did Boston Scott.
You did?
Yeah.
Nice. Who'd you drop? What?
Should I start him over Hunt?
Yeah, sure. Go. It's up to you, man. I don't want to be like the guy on your team.
I'm going to start him. I don't want to. What did Julian call it? Like handcuffing yourself to both.
Handcuffing. I don't like that. I don't like handcuffing backs that much.
No, I'm also. I think I'm going to considering that my fucking Hollywood trade fell through, and Sutton and Debo are out. I think I'm going to start Sanders at flex.
Dude, just use your IR spots.
Oh, I can. Can I move? I can move my IR spots.
You can use your IR spots, and then you don't have to drop anyone for Boston Scott.
Oh, damn. Oh.
Who'd you drop for him?
Austin Hooper.
Oh, now you have to pick up – if you want him back, you have to put in a waiver claim or pick up another guy.
Where's Hooper?
You have to put – I'm not going to say anything. I bet someone in our league is going to watch this later on and just be like – Collusion.
No, it's not someone. It's going to be Nate. If Nate hears about this, he's going to call it collusion.
Easily. But I'm just saying, like, a fantasy tip. Like, everyone gives people fantasy tips. Like,
oh my God.
Like, they were if they were colluding against me last week, everyone should be banned. If that's collusion, then everyone should be banned for collusion. But
if that's collusion, Julian and you and Garen all colluded with me on draft day because everyone was talking with me. I was talking with Garen the whole time.
What was I talking to you about? I forget.
Oh, you weren't talking to me as much, but it was mostly Garen and I were talking about. He's like, "Who should we go for?" And I'm like, You should go for a receiver. And we were pulling up like the power
Garden.
rankings of receivers. And it's just, Garrett and I were talking basically the whole draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's not collusion, but I personally, I would have picked him up, but I already got. My running back core is really solid. I got Chris Carson, Saquon Barkley, and I got Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, Chris Thompson. I think that's pretty good for week one. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. I'm starting Carson and Barkley, but Taylor I think is going to ball out this year. Might need to give him a bit of time before he starts to get going. Marlon Mack should be good at the beginning of the season, and then you got Chris Thompson, who's now the satellite back there, going to get a lot of pass catching opportunity like he did in Washington, and he's got Jay Gruden back in Jacksonville, so I think that's looking really good for him. So. Yeah, I mean, we're liking our teams a lot, but
I don't like. I've lost some confidence in my team. I still like my team though. I do still.
Thank you for the trade yet again.
You're very welcome.
You're so mad about. I mean, you shouldn't have accepted it if you didn't want it. So
I wanted it at the time. I thought Diego was gonna fucking play.
Oh, what a clown. Okay, anyways, let's move on to the awards. Let's not keep our viewers waiting. So the awards that we're doing, we got Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, MVP, and Most Improved Player. So let's start off, Joel. What you got here? Offensive Player of the Year.
Player of the Year. I have two picks. I mean, I have two guys in mind, and I'm gonna say I think it's gonna be George Kittle.
I think I have to go Kittle too. I mean, at this point, it doesn't seem like anyone can figure him out.
No.
And the only thing that's stopping George Kittle is Jimmy G throwing him the ball. That's it, not throwing him the ball. That's the only thing that's stopping him at this point. And with the addition of Warner, that's going to open this game up so much in the passing game. And I think he's going to get so many more opportunities. And I think he's going to win Offensive Player of the Year, absolutely dominate the league this year. So, yeah.
Over under 7.5 touchdowns.
Ooh. I'm going to go over.
I would go over too.
I'm going to go over. I think the addition of Warner is going to help them a lot. How many did he have? 5 last year, I believe?
To be a 5 or 6.
Whatever he had, he missed 3 games, and I think against Arizona, he would have put up a lot more. He would have probably put up 8 if he played those 2 Arizona games, and maybe the Seattle game too. So, I think I'm going to go over 8 right now. So,
I would go with over 8 too.
Yeah. Who's the other guy that you were thinking of?
It was funny enough. I thought I had a slight flash in my head said Mosher. I think Mosher's going to have a great year.
Okay, that's a bold prediction. I do like that though. It just depends. Can Kyle Shanahan give him the ball, or is
the
he
only reason
the hot
I
hand for
is at the end of last year, and especially in the playoffs against fucking.
Oh yeah, he was the MVP of the playoffs last year for us.
They were giving him a lot more touches through the last game of the stretch, like through the down the stretch of last year. And granted, that was because some guys were hurt, and I think they definitely moved away from Breida a lot towards the end of last year. But I mean, I think he's our best running back right now, and I really wanted him for fucking fantasy. And God, that trade. But I am very high on Mosher, and I'm very glad that our contract negotiation, fiasco is over.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad he's back on the team. Got a solid RB core as we talked about earlier, but. Yeah, I think either of those two could win. Kittle's probably the safer pick, so I'm going to go with him right there.
Yeah.
All right, defense. Yeah. All right. Wait, were you saying something?
No, that's what I was saying. Yeah, it's just such a risky. It's just a bold pick. I've already made one bold pick this video. I didn't want to go with 2.
Yeah. All right. Defense Player of the Year, Nick Bosa. I think I have to go with him. Easy pick. I feel like I wouldn't call it an easy pick, but I think he's just going to improve a lot this year. And I mean. Yeah, and usually like the Defensive Player of the Year, you look at a defensive lineman.
Oh yeah,
and I think he's going to really just dominate this year after what happened last year.
How many sacks did he have
last year? 9 or 8.
Nick Bosa,
something like that. Yeah, I know. I mean, he's legit, obviously. So I'm excited to see what he can do this year. But I got him as Defensive Player of the Year.
So, I want to give you an over/under when I couldn't get how many sacks he got. He had 9. Over under 10.
Over.
Yep, I agree.
I gotta go over because I feel like you look at this defensive line and you know what? Here's an even safer prediction. I say like at least somebody on our team is gonna have three people on our team are going to have over 8 sacks. That's all I'll say.
Oh, so I mean, when you say him, Armstead, and
Ford or Kinlaw, one of those three
Yeah.
of those guys are going to have 3 people on our team.
that's
are
a
gonna
I
have-
like that. That's better.
Yeah, for sure. I think 3 people on our team are going to have over 8 sacks because they're going to have to be dealing with they're going to have to be dealing with the other guys on the defensive line, and that's going to be hard to stop for them.
Do
So
you think Kinlaw, Ford, Bosa? I mean, Bosa and Armstead is kind of a given, but do you think that Ford and Greenlaw will all 4 of them will have over 6.5 sacks?
Greenlaw, that's did you mean
Did I
Kinlaw?
say Greenlaw? I meant Kinlaw.
I mean, it depends if Ford stays healthy. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean that's it.
That's hard.
Sure.
It's hard to say right now, if
Sure.
depending on if Ford stays healthy or not. So, Ben asks, what are the chances of the game getting postponed right now? So Joel and I are about an hour north of Levi's. That's where we live, and it's getting better. And the smoke's moving north to south. I believe last I checked, it's in the 180s. It's worse in Santa Clara right now, and that tells me that it's getting better actually, because it's going to get better here, which means as that goes along, it's going to get better in Santa Clara. Right now, it's looking good. The Cardinals are leaving for San Francisco, expecting a game tomorrow. But if it does get postponed, it's probably going to be – it's hard to say when they'd play it because they'd have to reorganize our schedule because it can't be the bye week because we have different byes.
Yeah.
But it's maybe a Tuesday night game in Arizona, or maybe we just do a Tuesday night game here because I think the smoke will get better. So yeah, but we'll see what happens with that. So yeah. All right, moving on. Rookie of the year, who you got?
Ooh.
It's really between Ayuk and
Ayuk
Kinlaw
and
for this
Kinlaw.
one.
Ayuk
Because I know I love Warner, but I don't think he's worthy of a rookie of the year. He's not going to do. He's not going to put up the stats that say rookie. That shout out rookie of the year. So
I'm gonna go with Ayuk.
I'm gonna go with Ayuk too, man.
Yeah.
I think what he's bringing to the table, do as Kyle Shanahan written all over him. I think he's gonna ball out. I love Kinlaw, but I think Ayuk's it's in the better system fit, better scheme fit, I should say. So I think he's gonna pull it out and win it. So for the Niners. So yeah. You got anything else to add on to that?
No, I just I mean not exactly like a carbon copy, but I think it's going to be a Deebo Samuel-esque, like just like kind of versatile. Put him in a lot of different schemes. I think he's going to have a great year
For sure. Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. All right.
MVP.
Yeah, team MVP. Who you got for this?
Oh, I want to hear you go first because I'm still thinking about this one.
Oh, this is a hard one, and you could go Kittle, you could go Bosa, you could go. There's a lot of guys you could go for this. Could go Jimmy G.
That's a bold thing.
Bold.
I'm just kidding.
That's not bold at all.
It's not bold. It's not bold at all.
That's like that's probably the easiest pick.
Saying Jimmy?
Oh, for sure. He's the quarterback. Are you
I
serious?
know, but Jimmy. Like it's like
Jimmy's good.
he is good, but he's Jimmy. Like he's gonna like he
No. You gotta think about it. It's a team MVP, not
Okay.
league MVP.
That's
For
true.
team MVP, he definitely has a better chance of getting that. So
And that's a quarterback. Yeah, I guess that's true.
yeah, it's a quarterback. I'm gonna go Jimmy because I
You're
think
good.
I think he's gonna improve a lot this year. Right now, I made that video. I have him as QB number 12 in the league, and I think he's gonna do better than that. I think he's definitely gonna be top 10 by the end of the year. So we'll see what happens then. Joel, what you got though for MVP?
Oh boy. Fuck. I don't know. Yeah. I am going to say I think it's
Tough.
I've got it between two guys. I've got it between Jimmy and I think Kittle.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Kittle. All right.
Pretty much all of our picks the same. All of our picks.
Yeah, all of our picks are the same so far. So you're
I'm
just
gonna
gonna go
say
Kittle. Say,
I'm
fuck
gonna-
it.
I'm gonna say Kittle.
All right. Safe pick two. I think those are probably the two safest picks right there, Jimmy G and Kittle. So yeah, we got those two winning. And team MVP, which I think is definitely a safe pick right there.
And then what's
So-
the most improved?
What?
What's
Yeah,
the
last one is most improved player. And there's so many guys for this
There's a lot
one.
of
So Who you going with?
Ooh,
Another tough one.
This is a tough one. I
got one guy in mind that I'm picking. I want to hear what you have to say first.
What? You want to hear
I
what
want to hear what you have to say first.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I'm going to go. You know what? I do know. I'm going to go with Dre Greenlaw.
Dre Greenlaw. In my opinion, that's probably the safest pick. And you got tell me why. Tell me why.
I just think that with a fully healthy defense last year, because I think that he's going to have a little more of an opportunity to free roam because Quan was out a little bit, which I think is going to be like bolster his ability to stop the passing game. And I think that especially against the 2 Seattle games, obviously, I think he showcased a lot. And I don't know. I just think that with such a dominant defense, he's going to be able, because a lot of some guys will get double teamed. The chance for him to get double teamed if he is blocking or I don't know. I just think that
for sure.
He's just going to contribute into an absolute monster defense, and I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I like Greenlaw a lot this year. Definitely thought about him for most improved, but I'm going to go with a guy who typically I don't like giving most improved to a guy who's in his second season because he's going to improve. I'm looking at a guy who's going to take a big step that's not in his second season, but Greenlaw's a good prediction, I think. So,
you going Bosa?
No, I'm not going Bosa. I said not in their second season.
I thought you said in their second season.
No, I said not in their second season. I'm going to go with another defensive guy who missed some time last year due to injury. And I'm so excited to see him back on the field. One of my favorite players. I have this Deebo jersey right now. I consider getting his jersey too because I absolutely love this guy. I'm going to go with DJ Jones.
Yeah.
And frankly, I love this guy. Dude's a monster nose tackle, big guy, fun guy on and off the field to just watch play. So I think DJ Jones is going to ball out. He might not get the starting opportunities. Now we got Kinlaw, but people are going to be sleeping on him, and he's going to improve a lot this year. Maybe you might I know we were talking about the guys who's going to get over 8 sacks. Maybe he's the sleeper candidate that gets 8 sacks. Maybe he leads the team in sacks. I know on the Raiders you had like Max Crosby didn't get that many snaps and had a ton of sacks, but now you bring in DJ Jones. So I really like him. I'm so excited to see him back with the injuries after last year's injuries. So yeah. So anyways, guys, so those are our awards. Gotriot says Niners will go 12-4. I think that floor is 12-4, his roof is 12-4. I think I would not be surprised 12-4, but I think right now, okay, yeah, give me a ceiling and a roof. Joel, give me a ceiling and a floor for the Niners.
Well, let me pull up the schedule again. Let's see.
It's literally on Joel. It's literally on the screen.
Yeah, but it's kind of blurry. All right, I think our floor is. I think our floor is like worst case, like not like a low floor. Maybe we lose both Seattle games. We lose to New Orleans, and we lose. I would say maybe 11-5, but probably 12-4 is the floor.
Yeah, so I'm thinking. I think that's a pretty good prediction. I think you could lose these 3 games. You could all lose. The Buffalo game you could lose. Yeah. You could lose the division game. There's a lot of games you could lose, but again, I like this team a lot. So I'm going to go with a floor of 10-6.
Okay. 11-5.
Yeah, and I think my ceiling is going to be 15-1. I don't. It's hard to say. I think we are going to have one loss in there. I know. Ben right here, 16-0. Julian's got 16-0. Oh, Joel, you got to express your anger to Julian right now.
I'm not mad at you, Julian. I'm not mad that you declined the trade. I'm frustrated at the lack of communication. That's all. I understand that. I understand if you wanted to. You expressed wanting to trade after week 1. I totally get that, and we can talk about trading later. But
yeah,
as a ceiling, I think 16-0 is a little too bold. I'd say. Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
You said 15-1.
I said 15-1 for my ceiling.
We'll definitely lose one of the Seattle games for sure, and I think.
Yeah.
I would say, and I'd say 14-2 because I think we'd lose one of the Buffalo and New Orleans game and then one of the 2 Seattle games. So I'd say our ceiling is 14-2. Our floor is 11-5.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty bold prediction. I think not bold. I think that's a pretty good prediction. But I know people are saying 16. That's a bit bold. But you got to look at like if let's say we're 14-0 headed into Arizona and Seattle. We're going to rest starters. We're going to lose one of those games for sure.
Yeah.
So I think I feel like we're just going to go. I feel like 15-1 is probably the best we're going to do this year. 10-6 probably the worst we're going to do this year. And then playoffs, I got us winning the Super Bowl. You got that too?
I do.
There you go, my man. All right, before we end the stream, give me one bold prediction for the season that you have not already stated this video.
I'm going. I don't know if this happened last year, but I'll say it this year. I'd say Raheem Mostert is going to get at least 10 touchdowns, total touchdowns.
At least 10 touchdowns. I think a lot. I've seen a lot of people say that.
Yeah, that's not very bold.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's a bold prediction, but I've seen a lot of people use that bold prediction before. But I don't see that, frankly. So I think that you could definitely consider it bold. My bold prediction, that's tough. I mean, I'm gonna go. Ooh. I got one. Deebo Samuel, top 10 in the league in touchdowns.
Ooh,
for receivers.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And I think they're gonna give the ball a lot to him, whether it's rushing or. Yeah, I mean, he's going to be doing some rushing duties. He's going to be doing some receiving duties. So he's going to be doing a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to use him a lot this year. So yeah, I think that's a bold prediction that I'm going to go with this year. So
I hope it comes true. I've got him on my bench.
Yeah, I'm on your bench. I mean, I really did not want to give him up to you, but then the fact that he was hurt, I think I had to do that. Plus, I needed a running back. But frankly, I do like Deebo Samuel a lot in fantasy. Right. So it was kind of hard for me to give him up, but I like McLaurin a little bit better. I think he just has a higher floor than Deebo. Plus, Deebo's hurt week 1. We don't know how much time he's going to miss. So, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this team play, man. So, yeah, I think there's definitely a lot to watch for this year. But all right, you got anything else before we end the video?
No, I'm looking forward to the game. Yeah, game tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. It should be
24 hours away because we have the
24 hours away. We're now kickoff's at 1:25. It's currently 1:32 p.m. We are less than a day away from kickoff. I'm so excited for that.
Very excited.
So yeah, okay. Go Patriots, fuck you.
Bro, Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't deserve to start in a Super Bowl again, so I don't think Garoppolo's capable of winning. Go Patriots. That name makes me want to die.
We don't mean to bash you, but I mean,
have fun.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to lead the team to the Super Bowl again. I think with that defense, he's got to do that. So.
Last year was his comeback year after an ACL injury.
I know. I mean, he's going to do better this year. I'm saying that right now. He's definitely going to do better.
Oh my god.
So, yeah, for sure. All right, guys. But anyways, I'm gonna post the predictions on Twitter and Instagram. You guys are more than welcome to give me your thoughts on those. So
you better tag me in that IG post.
Oh, I for sure will. I'll tag you in that IG post. Watch my video, Go Patriots, about that. Yeah, but guys, anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for your support. And I will see you for the pregame stream tomorrow. Go Niners.
Go Niners.